But I just want to let everybody know I've been in Vegas for 5 years. It's my first time seeing this man.
I feel bad, man. Hey, I tried though, and then we both forgot that it was Father's Day, so
Yeah, yeah.
we had
We're
to
supposed to
cancel.
go like the Top Golf or Atomic Golf or one
Yeah,
of them. Yeah. Yeah, I
man.
know. We was like, hold on.
Tried.
We're like, damn, Father's Day tomorrow? Or it was like the weekend. Shoot, but all right, we go ahead and get started. With the rapid fire. All
All
right,
right,
so the first one is describe your personality in one word.
chill.
Shit. All right. Meet aliens or speak to ghosts.
Meet aliens.
What's your current age?
39.
As of right now, what are you the top 1,000 at in the world?
Ooh,
That 0.00001%.
that's crazy. I don't know. Come back to that one.
All right. Pull over hoodie or zip up hoodie?
Pull over.
Tequila or whiskey?
Go tequila.
And increase creativity or increase intellect?
Increase intellect.
And then we back. What you top 1,000 at in the world right now?
Uh, I go with strength, powerlifting, or something like that.
Well,
Physique.
you ain't never powerlifted, have you?
In high school, but not really. It was just a competition amongst the team, and then we went and played or competed against another high school. But
Yeah. You ain't thought about doing it here recently?
nah, I'm straight. Not at this age.
Hey, you 39. You be all right.
Yeah, but I ain't trying to train for it. It ain't the
Well,
actual
yeah,
competition. It's the
yeah.
training. You get hurt prepping for it.
Nah, you gonna get back into doing the shows? You gonna or are you done?
I don't know. I ain't counted it out. I always try to stay in shape. I say stay within striking distance, but I don't really be making no noise or competing at that level. So it don't. I just like to prep. I don't really care for
Yeah,
like the actual competition part, getting on stage. It is what it is. It kind of comes with the territory of making sure um, if I don't have a show lined up, I ain't as strict as I should be. And
yeah.
so that's the only reason why I actually sign up for them. But other than that, I don't really care to get on stage. I just like, trying to transform my body and stuff.
Nah, I guess with that, like, so you say you 39. You turned 40 this year, or you just turned 39
I'll turn 40 this year in
this
September.
year? Yeah, all right, yeah. So fit
So
for you,
I
right? Yeah.
once I turn 35, it's like, all right, I'm gonna compete masters. Man, that's just as just
Hey,
as
the
solid.
master dudes be way bigger. Hey, they be
Exactly.
them dudes got that grown man strength. Then they get
Yes,
on that extra stuff. Then them boys be strong and just be putting on size out of nowhere.
just as shredded. And then at the pro level, they don't separate by height or nothing like that. So
Nah, yeah, you be
dude
up there
six
with
three, 50 shredded. Man, I'm 5'9", 180, getting on stage, barely 180, soaking wet. Man, I ain't
nah because
making
what's the goat? What's his name? Brandon, what he like? He like what 5'8",
yeah, he's small.
like 210 though. Like he,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
dude, huge.
he do. I mean, in person, he was a lot smaller than I expected.
Yeah,
But hey, he making noise. His name out there. I'm a nobody. I mean, I made it. I got my pro card, but I
yeah,
don't compete enough to like put my name out there. Nor do my physique stand like next to those guys. It's cool when I'm standing by myself, but standing next
yeah.
to them, I ain't
Yeah,
compete.
make a whole nother
It
whole
kind
not
of take the fun out of it.
yeah.
Nobody like losing.
How was that getting the pro card though? Like, was that what was that feeling? Was it worth it? You know how some people get to it, or was it like what's next, or like what was your like thoughts when you got that?
It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders because I mean everybody get to that point where they doing it for a reason. They want to get the accolades and stuff like that. But like low key, I got into it because I saw you
Yeah,
competing. I saw Tyler Knight get on stage, and then I had another friend from high school compete. We always worked out being athletes and stuff. And
yeah.
then when you told me, he was like, "Oh man, this ain't nothing but a coping mechanism for like cats that ain't playing ball no more." I said, you know
Yeah,
what?
that's it.
Let me see. And I was like, who trained you? And then I got with what's his name, Tom Tran.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I got with him, for my first show. And I did two national shows. The second one is when I got my pro card, but it was more like a weight lifted off my shoulder because I'm like, okay, now I could just, enjoy it and don't have that pressure of, trying to
Trying to
get
do it.
qualified for nationals and then, try to place again. But now it's just fun. So,
Yeah.
you know, it ain't as fun not winning and competing like that, but I really just enjoy it just to, transform. 'Cause I'm gonna work out anyway. And it's just the
Yeah,
blessing come with it.
that's how I got into it. Like
Yeah.
I was at the gym all the time, and people usually like, "What you working out for?" I was like, just what I do." You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
therapy, I guess. I don't know. It's just fun, or like you say, I like being strong, like having my body a certain way. And then I saw
right.
Tom, and I saw him come. He came in because he's the hoop. And I saw him came on shredded one time. I was like, "Dang!" And he was talking about he was a bodybuilder. I was like, "What's that?" I knew what bodybuilding was, but he was did like men's physique. I ain't know nothing about. It was
Yeah,
like it had just came around. I was like, "Oh, I can do that." You know what I'm saying? So, like you said, it gave me something to look toward, or so you're not just people asking you why you working out so hard. You ain't looking crazy. Oh
right,
yeah, I bodybuild. You know,
right.
and then it was like, oh yeah, this give me something to compete at. Cause I still, you get done playing football, you still be bitter a little bit. You're like, man, you can't even. I can't even watch college football for like 10, 15 years. Like, man, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, it wasn't that long for me, but nah, I know how you feel. Cause that's how it was with me when I first got back to Vegas and stuff. I'm like, just that desire to watch it wasn't the same.
No, it wasn't because you
Uh,
know even the league too. Because then some of the people you might have played with in high school or against or in college and stuff, you like, hey, you're like, all right,
'Cause I mean, you don't really have like I wasn't really vested. Like I never really claimed to have a team. I mean, I like certain players.
yeah,
I watch them as they get traded and go to different teams, but I was never committed to like one team. So watching it, it was just like, I watch it to see a good game or, no different from other sports, but it was just I needed a break because I was kind of not so much going through a depression, but that what's they call it, that PTSD, but for athletes,
yeah, it's
that
real.
junk real. Because I'm like,
No,
man,
that junk is real,
I'm
real.
like I'm trying to make it to the league. All I know is playing ball through, my adolescent years through college, and it's like, dang, I like working out still, but man, I ain't,
It don't give you that same high.
yeah, it's not the same.
Yeah, it ain't that same fix. Like it still ain't the same. Like some
Right.
people
It's like
ask me,
working
like if
out.
you could go back, like yeah, I go to the league. Yeah, what you mean?
Exactly.
Like, what you mean? You better get out of here. Well, yeah, like that. Like, I mean, like you said, you turned 40 in September and stuff. Like, how you, without competing, how you manage to like find that motivation or just still stay in like that tip top shape? Like, you know,
Like you said, I mean, it's more therapeutic for me. Like, it's almost like I feel weird when I don't work out versus, having to push myself to actually go down there and lift and stuff.
yeah,
And I kind of made it easier to not have as many excuses or I made it more convenient because I got, a little gym set up in the garage and I, slowly started adding equipment to it to where it's like, yeah, I just go down there, turn the TV on, be watching podcasts, listening
yeah.
to sermons and or have some music playing. And I kind of just be in there
Well,
chilling.
you got a nice little setup down there. And
Yeah.
you got Stairmaster in there too, right?
Yeah. We just got that last year on Father's Day.
Oh, okay.
And then we got
Did
the treadmill.
you had to fix anything? That's one thing I heard about Stairmaster. It's like when they break, don't nobody know how like to fix them and stuff.
Right.
So
Nah,
yeah.
yeah. Luckily, I mean, I'm the
Oh,
only
okay.
one on it. I kind of
Yeah.
just do the same routine. I ain't really like, going hard on it like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you be putting in an hour. You be having like 60,
I'll be
70
getting it.
minutes on them.
Yeah, I get it in, but I mean, I'm the only one on it, so it ain't like a
Yeah,
franchise or commercial gym to where, you
that
got
all that
different
wear and tear.
on it. Yeah, and they
No,
sprint. I might do a quick little high interval circuit on it, but that's only gonna last 20 minutes.
no,
But then I wipe it down. I try to take care of it.
no, that's good. I mean, yeah, you got a nice setup. You still count macros and stuff, or
No, I,
you do?
to be honest, I never really counted them as much. I counted them just to see, like, because people be asking
Yeah,
roughly what I take in on like when I'm prepping and stuff. But to be honest, I carb cycle. I got that from you. Low key, I got a lot of stuff I got from picking your brain,
yeah,
like in, and then just like fine tuning and tweaking some things just to see like what you know, trying not to break what ain't. trying not to fix what ain't broke, but trying to like make
Yeah,
improvements too. And
just
I had a
make
couple shows I got on stage like, man, I shouldn't have did that, and then learn from it and just go back to what I know.
no,
But
that's what I say, man. A lot of the stuff, it ain't hard. I mean, it's simple, but it ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? It's
right,
just like it just repetition. People be looking for like some magic sauce or something. Like, no,
yeah,
it's
you just
really
gotta get
this is what we do. Like literally, honestly, this is what we do. Like you tweak it for how your body may respond a little different, but other than
the
that, that's gonna all be the same. Ain't no magic, nothing. That's
right.
good.
And so
Yeah,
much there, like it's so much information out there that people, um, put out there just, be influencers and stuff like that. Like it's so much information. And that's the part that kind of suck, not suck, but I don't like so much when with the industry and when I do compete, like I don't mind being at the house working out and, taking progress pics and stuff like that. But when you get to the competitions and it's like you'll see somebody, and I'm real observant. You'll see somebody look like they probably been prepping because you've been following them on Instagram or something.
yeah,
Then you'll see them just completely because they see what somebody else doing or they talking to somebody else. I'm like, you just gonna drop your plan that you've been sticking to for however long on the day of the show, and you just gonna switch it up just because you see somebody
yeah.
else doing something. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
It
But I
is.
think the sports, you learn life lessons through the different competitions and the discipline that come with it and stuff. But I've seen a lot of people just throw their whole plan. I don't like. What was your plan before you got here? Before you start talking to this dude, just because you like his physique, and now you just gonna automatically throw your plan out the window and then get on stage and what I mean? I'm like, man, you wasted all that time.
I'm about to
At
say,
least
you don't know what he on. You don't know if he lying to
exactly.
you. You don't know like it's so many different factors.
It's still a competition.
Yeah,
I'm like, at least stick it out to the end and then make adjustments for your next prep.
or at least ask questions independent of that person or something. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. They be like, I seen the day of the show. You know, like some people be like,
Exactly.
nah, man, you don't need the carb up. You need to do this, or nah, man, what you eat? You need to eat these fries. Get this burger
And
in
then
you.
they're
You
like,
know,
let me get some. Let me get some. Yeah.
that'd be crazy. How you I mean, for me, I always had like stuff at the house, but working out the house always was kind of hard. Not necessarily hard, but like just mentally, like I just rather be at a gym, like for some reason. I don't know, but
Yeah. Some
do
days
you
better
do
than others.
you feel like that too, or is it it really don't bother you?
Some days better than others. It depends on what I'm doing too. Like if I'm just getting up to do cardio, I'd rather just do it at the house because, I
Yeah,
just get up, go downstairs, toss a hoodie on, and then when I'm done, like go shower, eat burgers and stuff like that, and I ain't gotta worry about driving. But you do get that different feeling when you actually go to a gym, you seeing everybody else on somewhat on the same mindset as you, like actually training
yeah,
and working out. My lifts now at the house, like when I'm at home, I'll probably be overdoing it because I'll probably be down there for way longer than I need to be. And that's one thing I do notice. I'm like, I'll be probably just being counterproductive with some of my lifts because I'm probably doing too much because I want to do everything.
yeah.
Versus if I'm like I'm in and out, somebody waiting on the machine, I'm using it, and then I go to the next one. But man, I'll be at the house watching TV, probably taking 2, 3 minutes in between sets and stuff.
Sending reels.
Right. Or scrolling. I'm saying, then you like one thing or saying one thing, then your whole feed is gonna be the same content,
Yeah,
and that's how I get caught up in the distractions. But like I said, it's therapeutic, so I just be in there chilling for the most
no,
part.
yeah.
You know,
You get your boys on it. Are they working out strong yet, or how?
hey man, my oldest he liked to work out, and then the youngest he's 7, he liked to work out too, but not to the level that I'm on or the
Yeah,
level I was on when I was their age. Cause I had weights at a young age too, like probably like at 10, like some little dumbbells and stuff I used to mess around with.
yeah,
Or back then you used to have like the NFL films and you used to be able to watch the athletes training in the off season and stuff. So I used
yeah.
to be like running and training, thinking I'm getting ready for the league when I'm playing like Pop Warner football and stuff. But my oldest he liked to work out, but he at that level now where he want to play soccer, so he wanna train, but not like bulk up. He just want to like have
Yeah.
his run and be agile and stuff.
I was gonna ask you, do they play sports? Are they in sports?
Just the oldest, he plays soccer and then he want to box. So he kind of like we got some mittens and some heavy bag downstairs and stuff.
Yeah.
but nothing like competitive other than soccer. And then my middle son, he the musician. He played the piano by ear. Now he got the saxophone, and he in the choir at school. And then the youngest, he just on the video games and
Yeah.
you know.
Did he get you into playing the saxophone, or you got him into playing saxophone? 'Cause I
No,
seen
no,
him.
he did. Um, so we got him a piano, and then he had a keyboard already to where he like was figuring out how to play tunes by ear. And
Yeah.
then I got him into lessons where he can like learn how to play music and stuff. And then this is all elementary school. And then once he went to middle school, he was in the choir. So they like read music in choir because it's part of like the music sheet and stuff.
Yeah.
But he got accepted into the school through the choir program, but he actually wanted to be part of the band, but they don't have pianos in band. So he was
Yeah.
trying to find an instrument. And he picked the saxophone. So I figured he's starting from scratch. All right, let me get one too, so I can learn
Yeah.
with you. That way, as you learn, you can teach me. And that could kind of be like our bonding time, because he don't want to play no sports. I put him in track. I want to say it was in third and fourth grade. They
Yeah.
not having it, and I think
Hey man, it's Vegas. It's Vegas
at
though,
first,
man. You talk about
yeah,
track in the summertime running. I
at
don't
first they
blame
thought
you.
it was fun because we was at the park, and I was actually at the park. They was playing. I was like working out, and they saw the track team out there because they wasn't on the actual track. They was like training at the park.
Yeah.
So I went over there and talked to the coach, and the boys was like, "Oh yeah, let's do that," because they saw some other little kids, but running, pacing themselves. They was like, "Nah, they'll run, stop, stop, go, stop." I said, "Nah, if it's a 400, you got to run all the way through, but just pace yourself." They like, "Nah, I'm gonna take off sprinting."
They
Then I'm
chucking
gonna
up the
stop.
deuce. They like, man,
So they tried to
I'm
shorten
a
it.
finish, but I ain't about to run the whole 400. Well, that
Yeah,
400 is that's the worst race out of all of them.
right. But even like the warm ups, they was like taking off, but they was young. They was just taking off. So I'm trying to teach them like, hey, you got to pace yourself. If you
Yeah.
know how far you got to run, you can't take off sprinting from the get go. You got to pace yourself. But my oldest now playing soccer, he's starting to grasp the concept. But back then, it was like, nah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
sprint and I'm gonna stop when I'm tired, and then I'm gonna sprint again. I'm gonna stop when I'm tired.
How many boys you got? Three?
Three, yep.
Three? Yeah. Yeah, you got three boys. Yeah, I got three girls. And they all you got high school, middle school, elementary?
No, two in middle school. He'll be in
Two
high
in
school
middle.
next year, and then the
Oh,
youngest, first grade.
you got them all spread out. Well, like I guess like what's your what's like your dad your parenting style, like your dad, like you like you as a mix, or you kind of like I'm a I'm a lead by example, or you like just a strict disciplinarian, like what's like
That's
the
a good question, man, because I'll be thinking I'll be doing too much sometimes. Um, I don't think I'm too much of a disciplinarian because, like, even when we out and about, like, they honestly good kids. Like, and I
yeah
know most parents already say that about their kids. You know what I mean? They bias, but now they really are good. But I do want to make sure like they don't have no excuses as they get older. Like, my dad didn't teach me this, or my dad didn't tell me this type thing. So I try to lead by example, but at the same time, like I try to be ahead of the game too, like be proactive and teaching them everything that I learned late in life or growing up. Because even before I had kids, like I used to work in a school district out here too, so I know how wild these kids can get and what they
yeah
exposed to at a young age. So I just try to make sure I'm available for them. But it's always different coming from your own dad versus like other parents, or I'm trying
yeah
to make sure I have them around people too that can like reiterate the stuff that I'm teaching them. You know what I mean? Or when we go to
yeah
movies or different things that we see around in life, like I just try to make it all teaching moments so that when they get older, they have some kind of substance to live off of and go by and stuff. But no, I would say I am disciplined, but I don't let much slide. But it's more so like they probably get tired of hearing me talk more than anything because we gonna talk about this
yeah. It's
or I'm
like nah,
explaining.
we sit down, sit down.
Yeah, because low key, I be telling them, like, to be honest, like, I'm not really a talker like that, but I talk more with them because I'm like, I care more about y'all than I care. If I see someone the streets with other people, it ain't much. They not in my
Yeah
sphere of influence to where I feel obligated to tell them something or teach them something, unless it like is directly or indirectly affecting me. I might say something, but to them, I mean, they get a mouthful and or earful because they mind, and they probably get tired of hearing it. But they good. They even if that's what they feel and that's what they be thinking in their head, they don't really say it. They just be listening like,
Yeah.
all right, like whatever.
Well, I mean, you know, they kids, so they gon' they could be
Yeah,
you could be right 100%. They still gonna have something to say or think something
exactly.
just cause they think they know everything or dad tripping. You know what I'm saying? It's just something like
Right,
that.
right. Here we go. He about to go on a
Yeah,
tangent.
yeah. Here you go again. They start nudging each other. Here you go.
Right. Yeah, but I try to, stuff that they can comprehend at their level. Like we read books and then I try to like relate it to what they might be able to relate to versus like stuff that I've experienced. They're not going, you know, understand that as much, but I try to give it to them from my experience with either teaching in the school district, family, friends, or even when I was their age, what I knew I was exposed to or what I think they should be able to process. I try
Yeah.
to make sure I'm preparing them as much as I can. So,
I mean, you
but
grew up in what Cali, like what LA area or what?
I grew up in the Inland Empire, so like San Bernardino, Fontana. It's like an hour away from LA. I was born in Compton. My brother grew up down there, but by the time I hit like middle school, we was in San Bernardino by then.
Was
And
that south or north of LA, or is that
that's
like west, east?
like a
Oh,
northeast from
okay.
LA. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm about to say, growing up in the '90s in Cali, that was wild times. They was, I mean,
Yeah,
what East Palo
I remember
Alto was
we was
murder
yeah,
capital,
we was in
Compton,
Compton when they had the
Oakland.
riots and stuff.
Yeah,
But I remember like, going to my cousin's house and then the folks coming home with a bunch of stuff because they were just grabbing free. I'm like, oh, so and then when I got older, I'm like, dang, that's what that day was, or that's what that was.
yeah.
But
You a
uh,
beneficiary of some of them riots.
right, and then just that's what I'm saying. That's why like when I'm teaching or trying to share stuff with the boys, it's like I know they may not remember a lot of the stuff now, but as they get older, they can reflect back like, okay, yeah, this is what my dad was telling me. At least I'm planting the
Yeah,
seeds now. Later on, like it'll make sense. And that's what I try to do because I know some stuff didn't make sense early out in my years, but as I got older, I'm like, okay, now I get it
yeah.
now. It makes
I mean,
sense.
it's just like investing, like you say, planting seeds. It's not for the immediate impact. It's for like that long term kind of
Yeah,
going forward. What's been like the hardest thing about like raising boys? Because I mean, I got girls, so I don't know nothing about raising boys. I see Dylan, I know, I see like family members, friends, and stuff that have boys and stuff, and I always say like my like nephews and stuff. The younger the boy, they always so like whiny and cry. Like my girls wasn't like that, but
yeah.
it flipped when they get older. Once the hormones and stuff, then the teenagers, the girls always whiny and crying, and the boys think they hard. You know what I'm saying? But like, what's been like the hardest thing about raising boys that you experienced?
Uh, and that's the thing too. So you got all girls, I got all boys. I don't know the comparison,
Yeah,
but I know I grew up around all girls. Like my whole family, it wasn't too many boys in the family, so I was the little whiny kid when I was
yeah,
younger until I started playing football, and it was like, oh, okay, that
yeah,
my mom did that toughened me up, and then I started working out and stuff, and then I had obviously my teammates and friends. But growing up, I didn't really have too many guys around. But on the hardest part, uh, like I say, I got good boys. The only thing is like they all got three different personalities. So
yeah,
it's like I don't want to show favoritism, but I still gotta treat them and love them differently because they different. You know what I mean? Like they
yeah,
individual. I love them all with the same amount of love, but I still love them different because like one is a little bit more emotional than the other, and then one's tougher. And I want to make sure like you good. I don't want to like
yeah,
um cause them to hate me or be mad at me because I'm showing them tough love, but I'm like I'm only showing you tough love because I know you can take it. Like I wouldn't be able to do this with your brother, but we can have a talk to where I kind of like man just give him his way, and then I have
yeah,
a talk with him a little bit later. You know what I mean? So the hardest part, and I don't think it's hard because like when you got the motive of making sure they know that you love them with
yeah,
your degree and like with your training and counseling and stuff like that, it make it easy because I mean I'm gonna love them and show more patience towards them than anybody else probably would on the streets or outside in the community. So the hardest part is just making sure they know that I love them, but I'm loving them in a way that I'm doing what I think is best for them. You know what I mean? Versus,
yeah,
you might love somebody, but you ain't. That don't mean you give them everything they want because now you crippling them or you handicapping them, and you don't want them going through life thinking that they can't, you know. um, be told no. You know what I mean? Or they don't know how to face adversity and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean that's the hardest part is just like want to give them everything that you have, but at the same time, like how do I make sure they got that dog in them? Like I had to figure out on my own growing up versus them having the stuff that you want them to have because you're in a position to make sure they taken care of and having the stuff that they want. So
But no, well, oh yeah, I was about to say, yeah, really, like for with girls, it wasn't really that hard beginning. It's starting to get hard now. Well, not it ain't starting to get. I can foresee it getting harder. In the teenage years. Once they
yeah,
start like they in high school now. They start and once they start driving, to get more independent and stuff. You just want to now you got to rely on your upbringing, like how you raised them and the foundation you set as they go forth in the world. That because you ain't really got
right.
no visibility, you ain't really got no, you don't have no control no more. Really, a lot of parents like to think they got control, but you ain't got no control. Once they get into their friend groups, their peer groups, they kind of shape everything. They got social media, TV, all these different things coming in. You just gotta hope that that foundation that you instilled in them throughout those early years is strong enough to kind of provide a filtering mechanism for all the BS that they about to start getting
Nah,
in.
yeah, totally. And
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I feel like it's easier now than it was then because like when they was younger, they still growing, so you kind of trying to be sensitive to them because they are young. But now it's like they older. Like I could really have those unfiltered conversations because I know they get into unfiltered conversations at school and what they expose.
yeah,
Like it's a little bit easier now for me with them because it's like look, I know what's going on in the
yeah.
school.
You ain't gotta try to play
Yeah,
around, beat around
but
the bush, or you ain't gotta try
I
to
don't have
be
to sit around the
sensitive.
bush, get straight to it. I'm like, tell me what y'all, you know what I mean, what the kids doing at the school and stuff. Because I know when I was teaching, it was some wild stuff going on in the bathrooms. They sixth, eighth grade. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Hey, it was stuff
But
going on
granted,
when we was in
I
school.
was that age too, so I'm like,
Yeah,
I just probably wasn't around it as much. But being an adult, you hear about it, so it's like, yeah, you get to hear all the stuff that you wasn't hearing when you was a kid because they was doing it on the low. You
yeah.
know, being secretive about it and stuff. So,
Nah,
but yeah.
that makes sense. No, you mentioned like you be reading to them. Like, what's something that you like? Kind of books? Do you share the books that you read with them, or you have like specific books that you kind of read like for your own self, and then you have like separate ones that y'all
Uh,
read together?
I try to put them on some of the books that I've read, mostly on like personal development. Not so much professional development. We read one book like together, and I probably would like read a chapter before I would read it with them. That way, I
Yeah.
have something to talk about. You know what I mean? In teaching moments. Was it? I think the moment demands was one book we read like front to back, together.
Um,
And
y'all do like the hard copy, or y'all have to do like the audio? Y'all listen to it together? How y'all read it, or
no,
y'all both at the same
we
time?
did
Or what?
hard copy, yeah. So I like actually, all right, turn the gadgets off, turn the TV off, and like sit down and hey, you read a paragraph, you read a paragraph, almost like in school.
Yeah.
When we got done, we'd discuss it or whatever, and we probably like read a chapter a day or something like that. We did do an audio to let them because it was more so like, I try to get books that like can address the things that they're going through, like in the current season of their life or whatever, or
Yeah.
like they fight and arguing, like the book let them. Um, we had it audio because I'd be in the car with them all the time, feeling like an Uber driver, taking them to school and practice and stuff. And then we had discussed that too, because they was always like fussing with each other, arguing over little stuff. And it was like that book was perfect because it was almost like you gotta let people be themselves. Like you can only control what you can control and they respond accordingly. But it was better to have the book kind of like reiterate the stuff that I would try to tell them
Yeah.
of my experience versus like I ain't just pulling this out my head and
Yeah.
but it was like I had never read the book either, but I'm like, okay, just looking at the reviews and stuff, I'm like, okay, let's see like what this is about. And then as we was reading it, it kind of made sense. And even like, Jason is the youngest. He's 7. So it was good for him because he can like participate in the conversations without having to read because his reading ain't at the level
Yeah.
that his brothers are. So it was like,
But he can understand though.
yeah, so he's like, yeah, you gotta let them, dad. And and then when you let them, um, then you could just you can only he'd be reciting everything that I said or what he heard, and it's like it'd be impressive to me, and I'm like, man, that's what's up. So it kind of like feel good, knowing that they got something. I'm like, hopefully, God bring it to their remembrance when they need it the most. And like I said, I'm just trying to plant seeds to make sure they got something, to live off of and govern themselves that benefits them, because we've had friends and people we grew up with that probably didn't have like the best examples, and you kind of see where like they lives turned out and stuff, and you kind of like, I wouldn't be the father. I can't say that I love my boys as much as I love them if I don't see like, pitfalls that I want them to avoid and not try to, help them prevent it. So
Now, was you always a reader, or is that something you just kind of picked up
man,
as
it's
you?
crazy because nah, I wasn't no reader. I hated reading until I got out of college to where like you gotta actually read the books that you actually gotta read the information that you want to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like all throughout school, like you read just to pass the test and get a certain grade, but it's like when do you ever really go back to that information that you were studying, unless it's like something that you still in that field, and which I'm not, because my degree's in business, but I ain't really doing much other than experiencing the consumer aspect of being a consumer, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Part of business, but um now just getting out of school, I kind of got into reading just because, just trying to find something to do with myself. I will work
yeah,
out and then pretty much it just being bored and
yeah. Just
movies so much.
might as well do something productive.
Then I kind of just
Now,
got, because I just noticed like as much information, everything that we go through in life, somebody probably done went through it before and wrote a book
yeah.
about it. And then, kind of just got into it now. I'm just now getting into listening to audiobooks, even though I still feel like I'm cheating if I'm doing that because it
I,
feels
I
different
love I love audiobooks.
turning through the pages.
I love audiobooks. I go through an audiobook. I go through 100 audiobooks before I read a paperback book.
Right. And that's the thing. Like I just started getting into the audiobooks only because I'd be like in the car so much. It seemed like, so I'm like, I'll turn on a book and then, before I know it, like I didn't read or listen to 2 or 3 chapters.
Nah, it's red. I don't care if it's listening. You still read.
I said read, I said, well, not read, but listen to.
I
Yeah.
know. I be talking to people. I be like, "Yeah, man, I was reading this book," and I be thinking, I mean, technically, but yeah, no, I was reading this book, and
No, because low key when I read, I mean, I guess it's probably from like reading the Bible and stuff. Like I like marking stuff because I'm not really reading like novels and love stories and romances.
yeah,
I like reading books that I feel like, it's good information to help me, live. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I'm usually like marking books up. You can't mark nothing
I mean, you
audio.
can, but
I mean,
it's different.
you
Yeah,
can take
they,
notes. I guess you can rewind it, but I'm driving, so I'm rewinding.
no,
I'm trying to like, all right, let me pause it, get out,
yeah.
close the window,
Hey,
mark.
you be on the stairmaster and stuff with books and journals and stuff. I'm like, man,
Yeah, yeah.
my shit be all wet and stuff. Tore up. Got the audio junk. I'm just on there,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
going down.
But I can't, when I get a good point, I'm like, dang, I gotta wait. I mean, I guess I could take notes, but it's either to just like highlight it, underline it, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I guess I'm just old school.
Now, I mean, I tried because Audible, they got a function where you can like take clips of certain parts. You can do like bookmarks and highlight, but I never really. I tried it one time, but I never do it. I mean, I
Yeah.
would like to say I wasn't no reader anyway, and I wasn't highlighting nothing, so I just I just had to skim through that mug. Just like let me rewind that back about because what is it? You go back 30 seconds or forward 30. Let me go back a couple times. All right, there we
Mhm.
go. Try to find that one little spot, but yeah, nah, audiobooks I'm real big on. I mean, I listen same thing. I'll throw like a fiction book in there every
Mhm.
now and then, but it's probably still tied to, something, whether it's like AI or whether it's kind of like mental health, or something like that, some
Right.
fictional story around that, or, like
To
knowing your
get
true power
across.
type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for the most part, it's like you say, it's self-improvement. Not necessarily, I mean, people it could be self-help, but it's really just optimizing oneself and introducing or going down a rabbit hole on some new concepts or just ideology or something like that. But what? So I mean, so what's your top 3 books that you've read or listened to? Or it didn't have to be a top three. Like if you was to give a person, like if you was to give me three books, what so you're like, man, you got to read these if you haven't already. What would you tell me?
That's hard, man, because it's more so like
It's situational based, like what I'm going through or something.
like what I'm actually reading right now.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I would say the Bible, obviously, because the Bible got so many different books and
yeah,
parables and different stories that you can get and metaphors and stuff. Um, I don't even know what would be like the top two other than that. I'm reading Disciplines. What was it? Disciplines of a Godly Man right now. But I just started, but a lot of
yeah,
it kind of like reiterates and piggybacks off stuff that I've already read. You know what I mean? That's kind of
yeah,
like different perspective, but the same point. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, I read ET's book. I thought that was pretty good. The
Eric Thomas stuff. Yeah, I read
yeah,
that one. Man, what was it like? Something no, or it was no.
uh
No means no, or quit. Don't quit. It was something crazy like can't quit, won't quit. It was some kind of saying like that.
nah,
Yeah,
it's because I can picture like the coloring and all that in my head.
yeah, I see it. That's what
I
I
look
was trying to.
here too in the hallway. But no, it's like UOU or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
UOU. Yeah,
yeah.
I
And
knew it was
then
something repetitive.
right. And then
It was all right. I was expecting more. I don't know if I had high
well, because
expectations.
I watch his podcast, so a lot of it was stuff that he's already like talked about. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like the Secret to Success podcast that they be on.
yeah,
Um, Jamal, the 9 to 5 Millionaire. I think I read his book too, where he started off like being a cop in Chicago, and then like his checks he started using to invest in real estate, and then he ended up becoming a millionaire.
mm,
Like they talk about their life story like on their podcast all the time, and I think I got the books just to support, but then also like read it. So a lot of it was what
yeah,
they talk about, but those are two good books, mainly just because it's what I was into in the moment or in
yeah.
that my life to venture off into some other things with like investing and stuff. So
No, yeah. You invest?
I'm trying to get with you, man. I remember last time we talked. Um, had mentioned like your investments and stuff, but
Yeah, no, yeah.
a little bit.
Have you
Real
started?
estate,
You kind of been dabbling in it?
uh,
Yeah. I say you've been dabbling in it and getting that stuff like that.
just with real estate,
Real estate. Oh, okay.
and for the most part, everything else, I'm like, I need somebody to like kind of take me under
Yeah.
their.
So
And
so
then
you out here buying property on them? You buying up the block?
nah, slowly but surely, I've gotten a couple. I mean, not to where I want to be, but I'm
Yeah,
in a too. So I want to venture off into like buying properties like out of the state and stuff.
yeah.
I'm always like looking at different like properties and then like the values and stuff like that. So
No, now you doing it to flip it or like just to rent them out or like what's
um
like your strategy
well,
right now?
I rented them out and then I had to sell. But like no, the goal is to purchase, rent them out. Not so much flipping them because
Yeah,
uh, I'm not as educated on that aspect of doing upgrades and stuff like that. But, I mean, I got the concept because I bought one, I sold one, I bought one, rented it out. So I got the concept of it. It's just a matter of how much I want to be involved versus have somebody like manage the property for me type thing,
yeah.
and then just give them like they cut. But
That's what you're doing now. You have somebody manage or you doing it
no,
yourself?
I'm doing it myself.
Oh, okay. Would you pull up with your shirt off and a white beater like, hey, rent dude?
No, it's I mean because the time that I've had has been family, so
Yeah.
they
Okay.
already know. So Um, but yeah, it's just one thing that I've experienced already, like the return on like my investment that I got the experience and evidence of seeing like, okay, what can be done
Yeah.
versus I, when Robinhood first came out, I was like dibbling dabbling with that, but that was just like chump change. I wasn't really putting no money
Yeah.
in. It was almost like putting in parlays
Yeah.
with smooth and
Yeah. Just
stuff.
hoping something hit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I didn't know what I was doing. I was just tossing some money out there saying, it's probably still in there. I ain't checked in so long.
you might be up depending on what you put it in. Shit, you
Man,
might be like, hold up.
what I put it in, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No, that's what's up, man. That's good. Like, I think we all need to have something, multiple streams of income. Did you get that from the podcast, from the one like the 9 to 5, or
yeah,
you had
I had an
already started it?
idea of it. Cause like even like when I was in school, like my dad was on it tough. But like I said, coming from my dad, you ain't really
Yeah.
he planted the seed. But at the time, I was like, man, he was like trying to get me when we was at Valley. He was like, oh yeah, see what the house is going. He was thinking about like purchasing a house and then like renting it out.
In Beta?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, man, ain't nothing
Man,
out
ain't
here.
nobody no
And
house
that's what I
in
said, like,
Beta.
ain't nothing out here, and ain't nobody got no money. So I'm like, but I remember him planting the seed back then. Then when I got out of school, I'm like, man, something got to give. I got this degree. I ain't making no money.
Yeah.
I'm like, just trying to find stuff, to occupy my time. And that's when I got into reading too, because I was reading different like investment books and stuff. But when I listened to the podcast, it was almost like hitting right home, like because a lot of stuff I can relate to. Because Jamal King in the podcast, like he used to play ball. His whole goal was to
Yeah.
make it to the league. And when he didn't make it to the league, he like, oh, he felt like a disappointment to his family. He's like, okay, how can I still kind of have that life that I was exposed to as if I made
Yeah.
it to the league through a different vehicle? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like a lot of stuff just I was able to relate to, and I kind of like, you know what? Let me try this.
No, that makes sense. Now we definitely gonna have to get up because I'm gonna have to pick your brain on some of the real estate stuff because I don't know nothing about that. We
Yeah,
always talk about getting into it, whether commercial real estate or residential, like just whatever. Like even the
right.
first. I mean, I know how to buy houses. I
And look,
mean,
yeah, because I'm like the experience you've already experienced because y'all purchased a home for yourself to live in.
yeah, yeah,
So I mean, it's the same, other than like what the if you get a loan, like what they require as far as like if you letting them know that it's a rental property, they kind of got different parameters you got to meet. But
okay, yeah. Is that how you went about doing? Like you did like you got like a business loan or like a loan to do it, or you just kind of
I did it
just
like
stack.
I was purchasing it for myself, and
Yeah,
then I just ended up renting it out and living in a different spot, and then just simple math. Like I said, I'm just
yeah.
simple like, hey, charging the rent higher than what the mortgage is,
With the board, yeah,
yeah, and then I just profit whatever, put that to the side, save it up to purchase something else later on. But a lot of people, and then when I had to sell it through like my first divorce, I ended up having to sell it, but I ended up selling it for more than I bought it for. So I was able to make,
yeah.
money off the equity of the house. I learned how to pull equity off of it. You know what I mean? Once,
Did y'all go in together? Your first wife, or was it?
but because we was married and I purchased it while we was married,
Yeah, okay, yeah,
ended up selling, then like splitting the profits and stuff. But it's just a learning experience. But it's still,
yeah.
I mean, the information I got from that transaction, like I was able to take into like different ventures and stuff. So
Nah, that's what's up.
it sucked in the process, but I'm like, man, it is what it is.
I
Yeah.
guess like even with like some of the books and the podcasts and like just people you met before, like, well, people always ask, what's the best advice? What's the worst advice you've gotten? That it may not seem worse, but now looking back at it, like, what's the worst advice that you've gotten that somebody just swore was like the gospel?
That's hard to say because like I'm quick to like, man, ain't nobody listen to that.
Yeah,
I'm quick to like either, change the channel or, go to a different podcast or even like podcasts that I like the channel and I'm listening to the people because they've had other content that I was interested in. But if they getting on a topic that I don't want to hear, man, I'm quick to just
yeah, just go
I
on.
I'll come back next week and see what they're talking
Yeah,
about. Because I mean, if it's stuff that I'm already like confident in, that I'm not really seeking, closure or more information on the
yeah,
topic, like I don't even really entertain it to like try to persuade, my mindset on something. I kind of just keep it moving because everybody got platforms, but everybody platform don't mean that they like they worthy of listening to. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So
They
yeah,
not everybody dropping knowledge or they not educating.
right.
Some people are just out there entertaining and just talking.
Yeah, I'm like, man, just because they good at one sport or they good at what they became famous at, don't mean that they like legit in talking about the topics of like politics and religion.
Yeah,
It's certain stuff. I'm like, man, you good at sports. I'm a fan of that sport. I ain't a fan of listening to what you got to say towards something else. You know what I mean? So
yeah. It's like seeing Stephen A. Smith talk about boxing. You're like,
it's, hey, So
He be on CNBC talking politics too sometime or whatever, Fox or
and that's
whatever
what I'm
channel he be on.
to each his own. And I mean, there's
Yeah,
so much, like I was saying earlier, like there's so much information out here to where, and there's so many people with different platforms. It's like you like a post, you share a post, now your feed is like flooded with the same content. But I'm like, if you want to know something, it's plenty of information out there to figure it out. But you got to decipher what's worth listening to and what's like, okay, you take it with a grain of salt and then either keep studying or, get somebody else's opinion. But yeah, to say what's the worst advice I've gotten, I don't know, because if it's something that ain't like bearing witness in my spirit, I'll kind of just like, nah,
yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I ain't even gonna entertain it. Because most of the time, what I've experienced, and when it comes to like either planting seeds and somebody else watering it, most of the time, like when information really resonate with what you know, it's something that you've already been introduced to or you already been
Yeah,
interested in. You know what I mean? Like nobody really teaching you something brand new, and then if it is brand new, you don't know until later on, until somebody like reiterate what you was, either need clarity on or something that you probably already interested in and trying to figure out on your own too.
yeah.
So
Nah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Now, even with that, like, they just kind of lead into like the wrap up questions too on the three. But like, what's a movie, documentary, book, or just any kind of like form of media that you've seen that like changed the way you look at life, that changed the way you look at the world, not including the Bible.
Not the Bible. I mean, everything had to be like, stemming from it, like
Yeah,
or something. Um, like movie, documentary.
yeah, just any kind of thing like the scene.
I know it's a book. It ain't on top of my head, but Dr. Miles Monroe, like
Uh,
growing up, he dropped a lot of gems on just like understanding like our purpose and seeking our purpose and then like fulfilling, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Our purpose in life. So I think that had a lot of influence on me just trying to like, just seek things that'll benefit me, the people that's in my sphere of influence that I can, inspire or motivate and stuff like that. I think he has a lot still to this day. I mean, he passed away, but he still has a lot of content that's out there, and then books that I have all like marked up. A couple books that has written. I don't know the titles off the top of my head right now, but
yeah.
just him as a person and what he would preach, kind of like um, influenced my perspective a lot on life and just things in general.
No, that's good. Like, and when you talking about like the purpose and stuff, like, what was like one thing that kind of that he harped on about finding your purpose? Is it more so like stuff that they say do stuff you want to do or stuff you like to do, or is it more so like stuff that fulfill
Um,
you? Like, what's the one sentence overall summation of like what he was trying to convey to people?
that's a good question, man. It's somewhat how did he put it? When the purpose of a thing is unknown, like abuse is inevitable. Like if you
Mhm.
abnormally using something, and a
Yeah,
lot of like our relationships or us as people, if we don't know what we were like brought on this earth to accomplish, then the abuse will be inevitable. Like you're abnormally using whatever it is. Like if I'm using a hammer to um for a purpose that is not intended to be
yeah,
used for, then I'm abnormally using it. You know what I mean?
yeah. Like you
Ain't
using
no
a hammer to
relation.
cut pancakes or something. Like you.
You abnormally use, you know, like the way that we find out our purpose is to, seek the creator and um get back to what the original intent was for like, for man and, you
Yeah,
know, men as husbands and families and stuff like that. So, just trying to seek those and not knocking nobody else that got different perspectives or, ideologies and stuff like that, but like do what works for you, but then also be able to discern what's not working and make
yeah,
adjustments and like govern yourselves accordingly and stuff. So, that's one thing, for sure. I'm just trying to, you know, be a good steward over what I'm responsible for and try to pass on the things that benefits me and those around me in a positive way, but low key kind of staying out the way at the same time.
yeah, yeah. Nah, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
And so the second one is like, I guess, a time to that too, like purpose and stuff. Like, what dream or goal have you that you've had that you let go of, and why?
Ooh, a dream. Uh, well, obviously going to the league. I mean, that's
Or,
something.
yeah. Well, I said we talked about the league and well, you got the pro cards and everything. So yeah, like was there
Yeah.
anything other than those that like some or like a goal or something that you was like yeah that you just pivoted from or you found out that ain't really what you want to do or just didn't happen or just whatever.
I mean, other than sports, but I mean, kind of father time, kind of make you give those things up as you get older and you're not able to
Yeah,
do things. But yeah, I don't know. As far as goals that I've given up on, most of the goals that I have now is really just um, related to the boys, and I'm not gonna,
yeah,
give on, trying to make sure I'm in a position to provide for them and support them whatever they decide to do in life. But yeah, other than that, I guess just with sports and stuff. I mean, I guess
yeah,
competing. I mean, I kind of gave up on competing. I don't really had a desire for it like that. I mean, I still like working out, but I might just work out as if I'm getting on stage and just do like a photo shoot or something, just to see
yeah.
if I can get my body on point as I get older. But it
Well,
ain't.
what's the goal like to go to Mr. Olympia and like the be the highest of the high or was it just to push your body and see how far you can go? Like what was
Yeah, it was just to push my body as far. But I mean, you go to one pro show after you get your pro card, and it's like I can't say it. I don't know what they're doing because I ain't, working out with them or no, like they supplements or whatever it is they doing. But it's some stuff that I ain't willing to do in order
yeah.
to what still place fifth, sixth. I mean, like some
Yeah.
stuff like this. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna do what I do because I enjoy it. But I'm like, I already know it's some lists that I ain't willing to go just to get like some credibility in the industry that you know it ain't really as rewarding. It ain't you're not you're not getting no return on all that you putting into it. You know what I mean? Other
Nah.
the prepping and like the bro science and
Yeah.
the pats on the back and stuff like that. Like I get that now, and I ain't even
Yeah,
still ain't.
you ain't even competing right now. I mean, what, Mr. Olympia men's physique got what, 25,000, maybe 50,000, if that.
Yeah,
Yeah, like you're gonna spend 20,000 on food.
right.
Not alone the travel to the different shows, the
Mhm.
tents, the suits, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
all the different things. Like
or
so like
followers, brand.
yeah, so like you say, you ain't it ain't you ain't in it for the income unless you're trying to get like some
Right.
sponsors and all that stuff. But so you
Yeah,
gotta have something else.
and
But yeah,
even all this. Well, I don't know because I ain't really got no sponsors like that. To where it's like almost every market is. I mean, to me, it just seemed like it's oversaturated. Everything
yeah,
oversaturated to where I guess you got to get in it early to have like, reap the benefit of it and seeing like the difference. But as of now, it's like, even if you was to get some sponsors, like you ain't gonna be the biggest name yet. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody doing nothing that nobody else has done yet. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
No, that's what yeah.
yeah.
And then what's one like belief, faith, or like a societal norm that you look at that you like you kind of question now that you may not have questioned before?
What?
I told you the last three is gonna be a little bit introspective,
Yeah.
man. Make you think a little bit.
Because what comes to mind is kind of like you want to be able to articulate. At least speaking for myself, I'm gonna have you repeat the question. But what first came to mind, like you try your best to articulate it to where people might understand, because obviously we're gonna have viewers, but
Yeah,
it's some stuff that you can't really convince somebody that haven't experienced what you've experienced to, give you the revelation of what you can relate to. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I get it. I mean, that's part of like the whole purpose of it. Like I always say, is when people ask me like, what's the main theme of the podcast? I'm like, it's like the ordinary person's, Joe Rogan meets Club Shay Shay type. Like, we can
Yeah,
talk about a little bit of everything. You get kind of introspective, but it's not the hyper uber rich, the high profile celebrity, the top mathematician or athlete. It's like it's the me, you, like the everyday people. So like a lot of the people, stuff you may say, other people may be thinking, but they just never vocalize it. They may not ever say it because they
Right.
like, man, I don't want to sound crazy, or I don't want, a lot of people may take this the wrong way, but that's the whole point, is for let
Yeah, it
people
is what it
know.
is.
Yeah, let people know that they're not alone. Like, it's other people out here they doing their thing, they doing good things, they thinking thing. Everybody out here kind of the same. You're not isolated in this world. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so repeating the question is
So
like,
say the question again.
what's like a belief of faith, or like a societal norm that you kind of questioning, or like something you once believed that you kind of like, that make you just kind of like make you kind of think on it now that you got to reevaluate in a sense.
Um, so personally, I grew up in a church, right?
Yeah,
Going every Sunday. And like I said earlier, like it's some stuff that it's hard to explain or articulate in words what you've experienced
yeah,
that others haven't experienced it, to where they can't really relate. And that's why I say, like, even when you learn this stuff, a lot of times people might plant seeds, but most of it, when it does hit home and resonate in your spirit, is stuff that is confirming information or confirming experiences with somebody sharing um,
yeah,
their experience that you can relate to. Like, oh yeah, I've been through that too. You know what I mean? And that's why a lot of times, even with memes on Instagram, like a lot of times it ain't. I ain't looking for the memes as doctrine. Like I ain't looking for it to train me or teach me something
yeah.
that I already know. But it's like a lot of stuff that I hit home. Like, no, yeah, I've experienced that, or I can relate to it. You know what I mean? And
Good
uh,
or bad.
right, right, exactly. So it's like a social norm is, you know what I mean? Like going to church is something that as I gotten older and I've like sought and read the Bible myself and prayed and like lived through life, you know what I mean, to where I'm like
Yeah,
I've lived certain scriptures to where I got a better understanding of it versus just reading it and listening to somebody like preach it at a pulpit,
yeah,
you know what I mean? To where it's like that's a norm, but more so now it's like it's it's a different experience when I go to church because it's like now I'm observant, and now it's like I guess because I'm older too, to where I'm not just going up there and just listening to what anybody got to say just because they got that platform. And I mean it's the
yeah,
same with life too. Like it's just because they got that platform don't mean that, you know what I mean, I'm going to automatically like take their word as gold. You know what I'm saying? And then so it's like you know it's one thing to like read the Bible, go to church and stuff like that, but then there's another thing to like actually experience things that you've um, faced hardship and faced adversity, and like the only thing that you can rely on is praying and
yeah,
solitude and meditating and not really having people support you, but then there's some stuff that you got to go through alone, and there's some stuff that you can't get from somebody else. You can only get it through your own personal desire to develop. And that's all. I mean, it's just living life and life be lifing to where, um, you know, just because people got certain platforms, I don't put them on a pedestal. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
might relate to, certain people or, I'm interested in hearing what they got to say from their perspective or the way they might dissect a message or a parable or a story or whatever. But I guess as you get older, you kind of like don't have the patience for
yeah.
uh, you know what I mean, that you don't like care to either entertain or you know argue about. You know what I mean? Like it's certain
Yeah.
stuff. I kind of just if somebody asks, I mention my perspective on it, but I ain't quick to like
Yeah,
you know
you're not going out pushing your views and
yeah,
stuff
I
on
just
everybody.
I, mean,
Yeah.
I live my life, and if my life is an example to somebody that's and they become inspired by the way I live my life, and they ask questions, then I just offer them my input or how I approach things or see things and stuff like that. But other than that, I guess that's a norm that I kind of like adjusted, but I think it just comes with
Yeah.
life. And then
No,
it's
it do.
I care about, but the things that I do care about, I'm passionate about. But like I say, when you ask me like what's one word to describe, I'm like, I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah, you just chill, laid back. Yeah.
so I ain't gonna
Yeah,
waste
that makes
your time on stuff that, to me is either not that important or people gonna do what they gonna do. You just
Uh,
govern yourself accordingly.
I mean, today's world, I mean, that's the best way to be. So there's
Man, it's so
it's so much stuff going on that like, I mean, you can control your own narrative in your own world. Like you truly can have your own bubble. Like you won't even know. Like, oh dang, oh shoot, we attacked Venezuela. Like, hold on, we did that. I ain't even know. Like,
yeah.
like so much stuff don't even affect you on that micro scale. You know what I'm saying? Like big picture, maybe. I might have
Mm,
to might come up like, why we paying so much in tax? Like, why they changed this? But you don't see that every day. Like so. It's like a mute point. So it ain't no need for you to. Some people be unfollowing people because they like a certain political party or believe a
yeah,
certain religion and stuff. It's
I
like, what?
keep
Like,
scrolling.
like they ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right. Keep scrolling,
Yeah,
mind my
just keep
business.
scrolling. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. But
yeah.
nah, all right, man. Well, I appreciate the time. I'm glad we finally got the link up in virtual space.
Hey, right.
But now I'm gonna come by. I'm gonna come by the Marshall gym. We got to get a workout at the gym or do something. Because yeah, 5 years is crazy.
Man, it is. I ain't been to a game, nothing. Shoot me a schedule or something. I'll come watch
All
the
right,
game.
yeah,
Bring the boys up there. Because
yeah, I
the
will.
twins in high school, right?
They go to Northeast, but they play for Legacy,
Okay.
Northeast Career Technical,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they play for Legacy though.
That's what's up.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll shoot you a schedule. And the football season, they got about 2 or 3 more weeks. Then softball be starting up here soon.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'll be there. I mean, I work nights, but on the the weeks I got the boys and I'm pretty much working the weekends. I'll catch a game. I'll be going to my cousin's basketball games and stuff.
Yeah, you still refereeing? You was refereeing at one point, weren't you?
Was yeah when I first got out here, but nah. Matter of fact, I went to a game the other day and saw some of the guys that I was refereeing with. I'm like, and he's still doing it.
How was that? Like, was the money good? Was it straight? Was it worth it, or it was just
It
no?
was worth it because I mean, like I was doing it to stay in shape, running up and
Yeah,
down the court, and you kind of get your confidence in like people just chewing you out and you still like holding your own. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Instead of business, regardless of because you gonna make calls, folks ain't gonna like it.
yeah.
So help with my career after that, with law enforcement because you get to make decisions and then people ain't gonna like what you got to say, but you still got to like stand on it, but still have an understanding and educate yourself on why certain rules are what they are and help you make certain calls to where people don't really question it as much. But no, I enjoyed it. I
Nah,
still
that's what's up.
be in a mirror working on my mechanics and stuff,
Yeah,
or thinking
be working on flexing and calling the foul at the same time.
right, exactly. Or even like when I'm watching games, like I catch myself looking at the refs and like they like rotations and stuff like that versus
Yeah,
actually watching the game. But yeah, it's an
nah,
experience.
that's what's up, man. Yeah, but sure. All right, man. I'll hit you up.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll let you know how everything going. Let everybody know where they can find you at, on Instagram and
Yeah,
whatnot.
Instagram. What is it? JP underscore fit dad underscore IFBB pro. But that's pretty much it. I don't really be on Facebook or YouTube, but
Yeah, nah, yeah. I mean, everybody, IG's the way. So,
yeah.
unless you're on TikTok dancing.
Right. Hey, I do got a TikTok, but it was more so for the kids. It was
Yeah,
just to make the reels better. They had
yeah.
a editing feature on there. Yeah.
But sure. All right, man. Appreciate it. Take it
Yes.
easy.
All right.
All right, man.